This week's episode is sponsored by Helio Gas Detection.
Hey everybody, this is Richie from the Metal Cell podcast. I'm delighted to welcome Chiral Labs to the show. I've got Adam, Gary and Al of the band. Thanks for joining me tonight, lads. You're looking well.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Just got out of makeup.
Yeah. So for anybody that isn't watching, the lads are wearing their character masks. I suppose to be the best way of describing it, lads, would it be?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
From the last song, yeah.
Yeah. And I hate time stamping episodes, but I do want to congratulate you on the release of your new single is it In the Company of Wolves? Yeah.
Yeah. Company Wolves. Yeah. Cheers.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
We've been waiting for this.
Deadly. They have whiskey
God,
here.
cheers.
Nice one, boys.
Cheers.
Cheers, boys. Well done, Adam. Don't get all over the beard, man.
Save that for later.
I
hope that's rock and roll now, Jack Daniels, yeah?
Yeah, it is.
It's fucking right. It is. A baby bottle.
Baby bottle. Nice one. It's a good way to celebrate the release of a new single. You're different in a lot of ways, lads, and I suppose you'll be glad to hear that. In relation to, first of all, releasing new material, you've stayed away from the whole Spotify. Would that be probably the Spotify trap? I don't know. I suppose bands use it so much now. It's kind of fucking saturated.
Yeah. No, I think that's right on Spotify trap. I like that. That's good.
Yeah. And so you've chosen to kind of release all your stuff so far via YouTube. And that's interesting. So there's a few things I want to cover with you during the whole chat. Because that's exactly what it is. It's just going to be a chat. And we might as well start at the start. And I want to bring in Adam here, first of all, if you don't mind, lads, because I have met Adam through music, not physically, but hearing his outlet through a band called Wolf Acid Ritual. I think I featured them on one of my compilations when I had time to do compilations. So Adam, nice to meet you in person.
Nice to finally meet you in person.
In person with the mask on.
I also got to say a huge thank you to the many nice things you said about my previous release under Wolf Acid Ritual. So that was cool. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, and I never realized it was a solo project. I thought there was around 5 or 6 of you somewhere around the Midlands there.
Yeah. Well, I started the whole thing and I wanted to get a band together at some point.
Okay.
It was like, I'm not going to wait around. I got these song ideas. I want to get them down. So I just started tracking drums, guitar, bass, vocals, writing the songs. That one that I released was the one that was finished.
Okay.
Probably not one of my best mixes, but I think it's a strong enough song. So I was like, right, fuck it, I'll release this. And I had planned then to release the rest of the songs, but then, like I was saying earlier, life gets in the way, and that whole COVID thing happened, and
it did.
Things change. And I've just been sitting on Wolf Acid Ritual music for the last couple of years. But then me and Gary started talking and got this band together, and this is where all my kind of energy and creativity is kind of focused now at the moment.
Brilliant. Fair play. And so Gary, do you want to jump in there? Were you aware of Wolf Acid Ritual? Were you aware of Adam? Or how did your paths cross?
Yeah. I was aware of all of that too, but I can't remember when he first came, because he came to the studio originally with a different project, but that was what was that called again?
We won't name that one.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, so there was a kind of an EDM kind of thing he was doing, where it was like, he's a rocker and he was coming in kind of doing Prodigy kind of like style music, and
nice.
And that's kind of why we kind of clicked in a way too, because you see, we have the dance side of things too, as well as the rock and metal, but he kind of always stuck in the back of my mind when I heard him doing his vocal thing. It was just like, the way you do vocals is so different. Like just moments of just magic that were popping out. And I always said it to Graveyard Eddie, who was in the band originally. I was always saying, we have to fucking hook up with this guy, man. For years we said it, said it, and eventually we ended up doing a few other things, myself and Eddie, and when we finished the last thing, and next thing he texted me out of the blue after 4 or 5 years, kind of going, "What's up? Check out my new t-shirt company." I go, "What's?" So that's fucking mental you're writing to me now. He said, "We have to jam." He goes, "Ah, yeah, we'll hook up and we'll have a jam." I said, "Fuck him now, I'm going to send him a song." So I sent him something we just had just sitting on the side. We didn't know what to do with it. Sent it to him. He kind of goes, "Is that your stuff?" It's like, "Yeah." "Can I put vocals on that?" "Yeah, you can." 2 weeks later, Digital Whispers was done.
Yeah.
Okay, right. So Gary, obviously you are a creative soul, a musician, and you have your own studios. Is it Red Lake Studios? Yeah, or are you working there?
Yeah, right, like we're in it now.
Yeah.
Okay,
This
and is that
this
yours,
Gary's.
Gary? Is it?
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
fair play to you, man. So how did that come about?
Red Lake Sound Studios.
Yeah.
Oh God, that's a
Years,
that's a journey. Yeah, it's cool. That's nearly here 16, 17 years.
And where's
But
it based out of?
it's in Port we started.
Portlaoise, okay.
So we started. I started when I was 17, working in Dublin in Temple Bar, in like Temple Lane Studios, which is Crow
I know it
Street.
well.
Sun Studios, Apollo, and I would have been kind of the last assistant in there, like 1999, 2000, just before they switched over to all the students things. So I was working as an assistant engineer there, and just that was it. Kind of, I always knew I was going to do it. Ever since I was 12, I knew I was
Nice.
going to do sound engineering and music production. I
Okay.
was fascinated with it. So yeah, that's kind of how I ended up here. And yeah, just met lots of great people from it.
Yeah, give us a few names that would you have met, Michael Richards,
Well,
obviously.
Michael Richards.
Yeah.
From Sun.
Yeah.
Oh God, I don't even remember. Maybe he was there one time. Are you talking like artists now or people who used to work there?
Just people that worked there. There was
Dennis Lovett.
okay, I heard of
And
Dennis Lovett.
there would have
Shawnee
been-
Cads.
Yeah, Gareth Mannix. Gareth Mannix is a really well-known producer. He did all Jerry Fisher stuff and Jack
Okay.
L. and great engineer. I learned so much from him. Like he's not much older than me, and he was already doing all the big bands when I was a kid.
Okay,
in his
so
early 20s.
you cross paths with a fair few. So branching out on your own must have been a bit nerve-wracking, was it?
Always, yeah. I mean, you come down to Port and you start a studio, and I mean, it's like anything. It's like even this band starting it off, like no one knows who you are.
Yeah.
Why should they pay attention to you? And it took years to kind of build it up and draw the people in, but it really comes down to how good is the work. And that's it. Like you're just only as good as what you're putting out. And it's the same with this band. It's like, we know it's good. Like we wouldn't have put it out. Just we're happy with it. Like we excites us. So if we feel that way, I'm sure there's a lot of other people that will feel the same.
Absolutely. And how did you get involved then, Al?
Well, it was actually I had a few songs myself. I was doing stuff for Bluster Boy, which is my alias, and because I'm living down this direction, I'm not too far from here in Portlaoise. I'm in Port Arlington, living
Okay.
down there, so I'm a Dulce down here. So I've had a few tracks I wanted to record, and I was getting good feedback from people about Red Lake, and decided to record a few tracks with Gary in Red Lake. And then obviously on the days we were recording, we got talking about music as you do, and we realized we were into a lot of the same things and had the same views about music, and we hit it off as well. So let Gary tell you why he was interested in me.
Now, was this all before COVID, lads? Yeah.
No. This is only like before Christmas.
This is
What? Okay,
Yeah.
Jesus. Okay.
Except for Adam, that was back in this last summer when he wrote to me. So it's very fresh.
It's very fresh. Yes. Okay.
30 years, maybe.
It may be just coming to a year. Like it was definitely June, July. Yeah, it's definitely nearly a year now.
Definitely.
Yeah. And when he came in and he's playing like Therapy and Trouble Gum on acoustic guitar, I was like, oh, I rang him. He's like, this is the guy. I found the guy. So by the end of the session, he goes, I might wait like a while before I ask him. I asked him like within fucking 10 minutes of me saying that. I showed him I Bring Chaos. I said, here, check out this song, see what you think of it. And he's like, oh yeah, yeah. I said, do you want to join? He's like, and he started laughing at me. And I was like, right, now I'm embarrassed. And then yeah, sure, look, the rest is history. He showed up 2 weeks later. We did the video shoot for I Bring Chaos, and it was that quick.
Wow.
Right into a video. And yeah, it's been full speed ahead ever since.
It was
great.
straight into a video, and then the new year was like, "Oh lads, we're doing Germany." It was like, "What the fuck?"
Sometimes that's the best way. If you overthink
totally.
things, lads, you know, it just
Exactly. No, it's been brilliant. Now I have to say, great experience so far.
Yeah, and it sounds really fresh as well. Like it's just a big brew of a load of bands that I can pull out of. Just like there's Fate No More, there's Tool, Deftones in there. There's even a bit of Therapy. There's Smashing Pumpkins. There's dance in there as well. I mean, it's great to kind of meet a band that have such a broad spectrum of interests that are willing to try and experiment to bring something new to the table, really, isn't it? And it's about the journey for all of you, really, at this stage to kind of find.
But I think it's funny, sound. But I think it's weird because we don't set out to do it that way. Like when we put down a song or when we come up with an idea, it's not that we have something like that in mind. Like it just kind of comes out through us that way because it's like a filter through us because we're, as you say, like we have such a wide spectrum of stuff that we love and are interested in. We just gravitate to that naturally. Like it's just kind of, it just comes out. Like you know, we just follow the music. We're not saying, oh, this is very like so and so.
Yeah, like we're not purposely going, oh, this song has to sound like X, Y, and Z, or we want to be this band. Or like we all have a wide spectrum of influences, but we meet in the middle on so many things. Like there's so many like heavy influences that we don't put into the band, but we kind of take from that. I think we've spoken about heavy shit. Myself and Al are really into that. We wouldn't bring that influence into the band, but there could be some kind of flavor of that sprinkled somewhere along the way. Like if you take Wolves, that last part of the song, where it kind of gets really heavy, and that's kind of the climax of the story and the character.
Yes.
And when I was saying to Gary, I said I really hear this kind of
fuck you
revenge scene, and I take the kind of the Kill Bill scene, that bloody scene, and then I was thinking, do you know what? Like if you had that kind of Lamb of God kind of really fuck you in your face kind of riff, but the way that Randy rhymes off those lyrics, and I'm not in any way saying I can sing like him or vocalize like him, but I just had this idea in my head, and then I said it to Gary, and I sent him a track, the Lamb of God track, and he came back and went, all right, I got it, and that riff just came out, and I just went, oh, I'm all over this.
Yeah.
And it just worked. But like for me, I was kind of throwing in a Lamb of God suggestion,
which is a once off,
but it doesn't even sound like that, and it's not coming from that angle. It was just that was my kind of take on where the song should go.
And as the listener, the first time I heard it as well, I was hoping it would go that way. So
you know, so because it starts off so poppy. Like it's funny because when we first did it, it was like U2, the Cults, all these things. Oh, not from us. It was from other people talking about it. And what was the other one?
Kind of ska, kind of.
The ska thing.
Okay.
Yeah, the Police.
Yeah, fair enough.
I was playing the guitar at that time, and the Police love them, like love all that stuff and love all the metal stuff too. But it's just kind of evolved. That I think we spent more time on that song than any other song we did.
Yeah.
This is like 6 months in the making, that song.
Wow. Okay. So we're missing another member then, and he's represented up on the mic stand there. It's Chris.
Spooky.
It's Chris Spooky.
Spooky. Okay, so
we have a few names from Crispy Pancake, Spooky. It depends on what he's doing.
So I'm guessing then that you had to drop to drums, Gary, to accommodate Chris. Is it?
So my best friend was playing drums originally. Now he didn't play on all the songs on the recording. I actually did that. And anyway, it's a long story, but he actually just kind of did the video and he did a lot of rehearsals with us. And no fault of his own, just decided that he wanted to do something else. I don't think he knows what he wants, but at the same time, anyway, look, he gave up the drums. We tried out a few drummers, wasn't working. I felt like I was holding the guitar, trying to tell these guys how I want the drums.
Okay.
So, I just said, fuck it, like, so I'm just going to go on the drums. So I played all the parts. I wrote them all. So then I just got rang Chris, how do you feel about coming to Germany, man? Yeah, I'll do that. And he's been here ever since. Can't get rid of him.
Yeah, threw him right in at the deep end.
I fit in well.
Yeah, sometimes that's all it takes, and
Yeah.
like the camaraderie between the three of you there is obvious, because it's very unusual to get three strangers, to bond friendship wise,
Chris as well, like, four.
Yeah, it's very unusual, lads, because a lot of bands, and you all know people in bands, 9 times out of 10 they've all known each other since fucking school, and just to have a cast of 4 here that are all on the same page and actually get on well, and can tour and come out of it and go, yeah, it worked out okay, yeah.
And the music videos are so much fun.
Yeah.
Like when we're here in rehearsals, all of it. Like the only thing that was probably grueling was trying to get the set together for Germany. I think like that 2-month window that we knew that we had to hit a certain peak for that deadline. Like Chris is an amazing guitar. By the way, I just wanted to point out that all the band are on Wolves for the first time before we did all the other ones. Like so Chris played the guitar, Al played the bass. So all the recordings, that was like a big milestone for us that we're all together now.
Yeah.
That was a big thing. And coming back from Germany, playing it live, that was unbelievable too.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all these little signposts on the way that you're ticking, isn't it really,
Exactly.
as you develop further. What are we looking at song wise then? So I think you have 5 acknowledged ones on YouTube, is it?
Yeah. And the plan
so the
is
set list consisted of those 5 plus another what? No? Or hang on, I'll go on.
No, the set list that we did in Germany was half and half. We did a song called, we did Chaos at the end. We had we have another song called Bones that hasn't come out yet.
Right.
Wolves was done. We have another song called Gateway that Chris was very, very instrumental in helping us write that one.
Right.
Then we have a Prodigy mashup that's coming out in July.
That's going to be the next release. Yeah.
And we do that one. And then we have, I'm missing one more. Kubrick's Odyssey. Yeah, we opened with that one.
That's actually a great opener. Yeah, it's cool. It
was always intended that way. We don't play the first 5 minutes of it though.
Yeah, obviously, yeah.
Yeah, we walk
like our ecstasy of gold moment.
Yeah, that's like our ecstasy of gold.
Layer from the best.
And what about Digital Whispers? Is that going to be a live track eventually?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, we just haven't had a chance to properly rehearse it.
Of course.
It was written and recorded this time last year, and we haven't really done anything with it since we released the video.
Yeah. But it's not that difficult, that one, like some of the songs are very challenging to play, I have to say, live. Like Wolves isn't an easy song by any means to play.
Idle Minds
is tricky now as well. Yeah.
And
we can't play our own songs, everybody.
Yeah. And do you think you are going to stay as a 4-piece with that? Like, how did you find playing live as a 4-piece? While say Chris went off and did a few solos, like was there a drop in the
no the songs are designed that way.
They are actually. Yes, that's a good point. I'm just wondering, do you need more sonic boom live?
No, because like the way the songs are designed, if they don't hold up and when we record them, it's just drums, 1 track of bass. Well, it's not 1 track, but it's like multiple mics on one source.
Yes. Okay.
Same with the guitar. So everybody gets 1 track if you like.
Okay.
And that's it. So what you hear is what you get. Like there's no trickery in that. That's actually pretty much how we put it in.
And to fill out that sound, the bass has that real bottom end, but it has this cut through on the top that's almost like a really fucking heavy guitar.
Okay.
And that's the key. So then Chris is allowed then to add all that color then on top of that, where Al is just driving the song constantly.
So I'm nearly having a guitar and a bass at the same time, kind of driving underneath Chris. Then when he's tailing off.
Are you 4-string or Al? Yeah.
4-string at the moment. Yeah.
At the moment, okay.
We can't afford a 5-string.
Yeah. We're looking for a
If there are any yeah, if there are any sponsors out there, we'll happily take an extra string.
We'll take an extra string.
And so there's no pressure under you, Adam, to pick up the guitar.
But he said that to me in the early days, and I was like, "Nah, man, if I'm doing this, I just want to do vocals. I don't
Yeah,
want to."
that's fair enough. That's fair enough. Yeah.
Never say never.
Never
obviously,
say
but,
never.
But you know what's funny though? Everyone in this band isn't actually doing what they should be doing. If they were,
That's it,
there's not
yeah.
their main
It's
instrument.
strange. Yes. Yeah, you're right.
I think Chris is the only one.
Yeah, Chris
Chris is probably, yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. We'll allow him to do that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about Spotify versus YouTube. Like, what about Bandcamp, lads? Have you considered Bandcamp?
Yeah, we were on there for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
5 minutes, okay.
We saw one song and we got the fuck off.
Really?
He took our money and ran. Like, yeah, hit the big time.
It was on Bandcamp Friday. It was like, fuck he, we're not staying on this shit. 3%. I know. We just decided that if we could get the traffic going to YouTube and build it up, if it was popular enough that we can monetize YouTube, and then just as a band to be, revenue wise, like if we monetize that, that means that we own everything. And the other thing is that we have a website, so if anybody wants anything to do with Chiral, you have to go there to get it. Look, I mean, we're not trying to make money as such to make, do what I mean? It's not about the money, but we need to make money to do things.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's it. Have to
Make
come back
videos
around,
and-
sustain the band.
Yeah,
Mm.
to make it sustainable and at least somewhat like, because I mean, there's things like going to Germany, for instance, like, that costs money. Like, we sold a few t-shirts and everything,
Yeah.
which is great, but you're not guaranteed that all the time. And it's not easy running a band, like it's not easy to, like, I don't know how bands do it. Like, I really don't. Anybody who's actually a successful band, fair play to them, like, because it's just amazing.
They're in the 5% out of,
yeah,
out of it's just you're only looking at the likes of Primordial, realistically, in the metal scene, that, and maybe even I was going to say Gamma Bomb, but yeah, it's just very few bands that can get blown over to places. Gamma Bomb certainly, in Primordial, Therapy obviously, but
Therapy,
yeah.
We
That's
we
right.
were trying to pitch them to support them in the Olympia for the 30th anniversary. They were actually listening to us and talking to us for a while, but then I don't know. And like Halloween, like, I mean, come on. Hello.
It would have been made for it.
Perfect.
We tried, but anyway, we didn't get it. But the band that's supporting them are amazing anyway. That's Enola Gay. Great band. Yeah.
Okay.
Shout out to them. Great.
Yeah.
And Therapy.
And Swarf Damage and Isle of Man.
Oh,
They're
Swarf
supporting
Damage, yeah.
Touch of those lads.
Lovely fellas.
Yeah.
Really appreciate them. Great lads. Hope they watch this.
Yeah, well, we'll tag him. So for your point of view, then you want YouTube to be the dominant platform for Chiral Labs.
It's the visual, you see.
It's the visual, and the visual has to be good. So, like, I mean, I'm looking at your viewing figure so far. Like, I Bring Chaos, 17,000 views. What else? Kubrick's Odyssey, 19,000 views. Digital Web Whispers, 19,000. Idle Minds, 13,000. And it's early days yet. So
only fresh.
I think you've settled on something good, and Company of Wolves again released then, you've already got 1,000 views on it,
Yeah,
so
it's unreal.
When we did I Bring Chaos, it took us a month to get that.
yeah, Jesus, I'm not doubting it for 1 minute. It's a fantastic video. I mean, it's fairly grim.
A little bit.
It
That's the
is,
point.
yeah, but I mean,
That's the point.
that's what you wanted to
Yeah,
portray.
that's the
Like,
point.
that's the point of it,
Yeah, we got a little bit stunted because of how it was the opposite end of the spectrum. I had a few people like say it to me saying, it's not kind of something you go around singing along to. Like, it's like, no, because it's not supposed to do that. It's supposed to make you feel uncomfortable. That's
Yes.
why.
Yeah.
That's the point of it.
And how did you-
reaction, I suppose.
Yeah, and how did you meet Thomas Miles, who directed it?
A friend of mine.
Okay.
Now, he directed it alongside us, if you like.
Yeah.
But because the concepts and stuff were written by myself and Adam, we spent forever writing these things, like, and coming up with concepts and stuff. So he's just coming in and filming it, and he's directing the shoot when I gave him the notes.
Yes.
Just to be clear, like, because we that was me and Adam's concept.
Yeah.
And it's a wonderful concept, that video. Very
Mm.
interesting now. But it's controversial, but we just thought like maybe you know, if we came from a different angle instead of trying to please people and maybe make them uncomfortable, maybe that'd be kind of interesting starting out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I can definitely understand that logic. And Rebecca, then like I suppose, you know, I'll name drop Rob Zombie there. He always has a muse. And could
White Zombie.
Rebecca,
Yeah, White
yay,
Zombie.
Yeah, she's our muse.
she's your muse. How'd you meet Rebecca?
Chris's girlfriend.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough. That's great, man, that she's willing to put herself through
Yeah,
the
she's an
rigors for
artist.
you lads, you know.
Amazing artist, and she's so creative. So she had that style and look that we were looking for this character that we've given her to portray in these videos. It's part of a trilogy. So
Okay.
the company of Wolves would be the prequel story
Okay.
of that character. The arc then moves into I Bring Chaos, and then the final part of that story is the next video, which we hopefully bring out later this year, which is called Bones. So
Okay.
that's going to be a trilogy with Rebecca as the main character in that.
Brilliant. I love the idea.
Mm. If you watch I Bring Chaos, or sorry, if you watch in Wolves, it's the part where the drone is up over and that flashes back to I Bring Chaos. It's connecting the timelines
Okay.
of what happened to her, is why she ended up with I Bring Chaos in that situation.
Fantastic. So
that was Adam's idea.
yeah, I mean, no, it's a great concept, and I love that there's a trilogy. So, you know, when we're talking about videos for bands and stuff like that, is there any influential bands that create music and videos that stimulate your minds, or are you more or less coming from a movie side of it?
I think it'll be a mash of everything. For me, it comes from
But that's
graphic art, it comes from comic books, it comes from movies, books, and then bands like Tool, who are quite visual,
Yes.
Mastodon, stuff like that. You know, like these bands that have this visualness to them, that
They do.
and Rob Zombie and all that kind of shock horror stuff. Yeah, we're taking elements of all of that, all the stuff that we love. And it's not like we're taking it on purpose. Sometimes it's like, oh, Jesus, that reminds me of such and such. Like even watching the video back today, I was like, man, it's got such an Evil Dead look about it.
Yeah.
That movie, you know, and it was like
Tales of the Crypt.
Tales from the Crypt. It's like these are all little subtleties that we can kind of talk about. You know?
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
There's little hints of things.
Yeah. I was getting a nice Rammstein buzz off it as well.
Yeah,
What's that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We talked about that too. Yeah. That's our son. It's
Son.
Yeah, son.
Our son. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we love that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, lads, it's great fun to watch these little stories and concepts running behind it as well. How crazy does it get with you? Like, is there one of you there to pull up the handbrake and go, lads, we have to settle on one idea to get this done, or otherwise?
I think we all throw our 2 cents in.
Yeah.
And I suppose we all have an idea where we want it to go, but I suppose there has to be one person that kind of draws it in, and Gary seems to like to draw stuff in, but Adam as well, because the two of them are very visual in what they especially in filming the videos and stuff. The guys have like down to every scene, they know where they want to be and what they want to do, which is great. Because if you don't, you're just gonna have chaos, really.
Yeah.
And we don't want to bring back any chaos.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we definitely have the concepts all worked out a long time. You know, we actually knew about this video like back in December after we just had edited Chaos. We sat outside and said, like, we started talking about Wolves right after that one was done, and we knew that was the one that we really wanted to focus on. So like, it didn't take. It's mad. Like, we put so much work into that song, but we've been talking about this for like 6 months.
Yeah.
About this video, and when we finally got to do it, it wasn't like anything had to be thought out. It was already written. It was just kind of like putting all the pieces in place, and away we went.
Yeah.
It turned out great.
Yeah.
It turned out great.
And I just like this sentence here. Chiral is not just a band, it's a carnival of sonic madness where darkness beckons you. Come and join the dark parade. Let's listen to the current single then. I have a section of it there, and we'll give it a blast. Well done, lads. I can't wait to fucking see that live, man. Such a great song live, you know.
Well, you know, it's funny because when we did it in Germany, that was the one we were told like that was the standout tune.
Yeah.
It just hits live.
I think it was because people were lulled into that kind of safeness at the start. It's like, oh, this is like a kind of a ska song. Like, all right, and then it meanders into this like, fuck you.
Yeah.
It's like
goes so down. Yeah, it's cool.
And Adam, as a frontman there, like, where does it bring you with your imagination to portray this character to fans, we'll say?
It's like
how hard is it to rein it back, or do you just
cross a line when you go over onto the stage? You're like on one side of the stage, and then you cross that line, and it's just the clicks and the music starts, and you just go for it. You know, it's like, and give it your all, and then it ends, and you go get a drink, and there you go.
Or many.
A few.
So, like, Gary and Al, just throwing your twopence worth there about Adam's performances so far. Like, I mean, like, were you surprised, or you weren't you surprised, like that, to see him take this persona?
Because obviously we see it in rehearsal somewhat.
Okay. Somewhat.
What's going to happen, but I have to say he commanded the stage when he was up there, and I had to watch out. I didn't knock him out.
Few times.
But when we were in rehearsals, like, you're dialed back a lot. Like there was one time, but there was one time we came in rehearsal, and it was second or third one, and we were all very confident at that point, and you just see the energy that was coming. It's like, we know it's there. It's just we don't use it until we have to now, but. But Germany was pretty ferocious. Like, I don't think the Germans did what hit them. They're like, what the fuck are these guys?
Just from our initial walkout when we were in Potsdam, we came from the back end of the venue. It was like huge, big, old kind of art commune, hippie commune, punk rock commune, whatever you want to call it. And it was like
an industrial tunnel.
Yeah, and the music was playing, and there was like just these four idiots in fucking jumpsuits and masks just walking down, and people were like, "What the fuck is this?" They would just get up
Class.
on stage and just stood there and stared out at everybody, like, and then that song ended, and we went straight into the second
Kubrick.
part of it on
It's
Kubrick.
like you know, it's funny, like because the support slot, like the very first band on is the hardest role to play.
Mm.
Yeah.
There was five playing that night. We were actually playing a ska. That was a ska club, so we were like this fucking crazy rock band coming in to open up for all these ska bands. So we walk in, then you see all these people pouring in, kind of going, "Oh my God, who the fuck are these guys?"
Yeah.
And they were all pouring in, and it's really rare when you have the same crowd that the main act's going to have in front of you, because that's what happened. Within
Okay.
the first 5 minutes, we actually drew them all in, and we
That's
held them there.
class. You just need 3 or 4 to break off the standing pack and to start dancing, and then they'll slowly pull in the rest. It's
Yeah.
great, yeah.
Exactly.
And we were very pleased with that, because we know like how difficult it is just from experience being in a band opening up any show, and there's no one in front of you, and that's not what happened on these two occasions. We had a full crowd in front of us, right from the get-go.
Yeah.
And do you think, Adam, and all of you, do you think that the masks help you in that way, that you are these personas, so therefore, you know, you can be as fucking extravagant as you want?
Yeah,
you know?
to a point. For me, I think it was like 2 or 3 songs in. My brother, who came over with us, he just came up and tapped me and said, "Man, we can't hear you properly with the mask on."
Okay.
So I took the mask off, and then on the second night, and I just didn't perform with the mask.
Okay.
So it was like one of those things where it's like, right, this is either gonna work or it's not gonna work, and it didn't work. So back to the drawing board. How am I gonna perform with a mask or without a mask, or what way is going to work going forward?
We always struggle with that in rehearsals too, though. Like, but even the bands that were there, like even some of the German bands came up to me privately and just said that was so much better when he was wearing the mask. So we just said, you know what, and he said it looks better too when he comes out without it. So because it's supposed to be like a skull and the gas masks anyway. Like the whole thing is like chirality, which is this opposite kind of spectrum. So I mean, so it shouldn't we're not all supposed to be the same exactly.
Yeah.
But we're still figuring it out.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so early.
It can't be fucking easy breathing in a gas mask either. I mean, I fucking have them at work, man, and they're a fucking nightmare at the best of times. So if you add it to a stage with lights on you, Jesus.
Oh, I think you really passed out on the second night.
Playing the drums.
It was about 25 degrees over there anyway.
Yeah.
And then we had the lights and everything then on us. So we were ringing, getting off.
I was dressed.
I'm puffing for air. I think a few of us needed ambulances.
The second night, I think I was going to call the ambulance. So I didn't want to talk to anybody when I got off. I was like, just go, for fuck's sake. Couldn't breathe. Couldn't breathe.
You'd wonder how Slipknot got away with it for so long.
Wow. You have to give it to them. You know who's also struggled with is with Ghosts. I mean, their first gig was in Germany too, in a festival. So they began, and they hadn't worked out anything. So he had this concept. He put the masks on the boys. Oh boy, did they learn the first fucking gig, like how fucking shit could go wrong. They didn't account for the lights coming, blinding them. They didn't account for all these other things about breathing and visuals, and but they encountered the same issues. Someone sent me you sent me that interview with him talking, and it was just like, that's where we're at. So we kind of had a little bit of awareness.
It was going to be clipping up.
It's like, right, we need to look at all this stuff. We actually went to see a Ghost tribute band here in Portlaoise. So we were kind of
class.
We went to see them because I was saying we need to go see how they do it. So and we got chatting to them as well.
Lads, you're creative enough. I've all the faith in the world you'll come up with something that'll work. It's
just that one song,
don't put any limits on it, there's different ways of approaching it, and it's just a learning curve, and this time next year you'll have it sorted. I know you will, and it'll look fucking spectacular.
These ones work really well though. Like, I mean, hopefully Wolves keeps going, then we can just wear these from now on.
Quite cool. I can breathe as well.
I can breathe and see and
talk.
Yeah, so like what you have individually as well. So am I correct in saying that, Adam, do you do the design work for the art and stuff?
I do, yeah. I do all the graphic stuff,
And you also have your own Sonic Brew designs?
Yeah, I do.
As well?
Yeah.
Okay, so give it a plug there, man.
Yeah. Sorry, Sonic Brew.
Sonic Brew, yeah.
I had been running it as a kind of a t-shirt design brand. Only recently I've kind of just pulled the plug on it. So Sonic Brew Designs, the whole website and all, I've just closed it down. But I was still doing graphic design.
Okay.
I'm mainly doing it for ourselves, but I mean, if there's any bands out there that want to get in touch, I'm on Instagram at Sonic Brew Designs.
Okay.
That's what I'm doing at the moment. The t-shirt end of things I've just kind of put on a back burner because it was starting to kind of, I wasn't getting enough time to do designs and it was starting to cost extra money as well. So I just went, all right, I'll just park this because there's so much going on with Chiral that I just don't have the time.
Yeah. Yeah. And let's ask the obvious question. How did you come up with the name?
Yeah.
Gary?
Okay. Well, I'm going to be honest. I was really stoned. I was watching Breaking Bad. Well, this is the truth. Like I was getting a lecture from Walter White about chirality. I was like, holy fuck, chirality, and it's just chiral. And I wrote it down. This is before even Adam was around, and it was just like, wow, that concept chiral. Jesus Christ, like. So if you go in to listen to chirality, do you know what chirality is or chiral? Do you know what it means?
I could bluff you and say yeah, but I'm
okay.
not
Go on.
to,
No,
for the
go
sake
on.
of it. For the sake of it, please explain it on the podcast.
No, I want to hear what your concept is. Go on.
Individuality?
Oh, no. Do you know, I'm going to let Adam explain this because he's better with English than I am.
Up to the microphone there, Adam.
Chirality.
What the chirality?
Yeah, well, explain chirality.
Well, chirality is the mirror image of what is it? The mirror image of a molecule or that cannot be superimposed on itself. So it's like a yin and yang, or yin
or Jekyll and Hyde.
Jekyll and Hyde.
So I'll take over from here. Like, you know, in Breaking Bad, if you watch Breaking Bad and if you understand what the concept of chirality is, you'll see Walter White staring in the mirror where he puts the hat on and he becomes Heisenberg.
Yes.
So one side he's this other guy, which is Walter White, school teacher, honest citizen. Then the opposite side, you have this really horrible person who's like Heisenberg, who's like a drug pusher selling to kids for money.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's what chirality is. It's like it could be it's two objects, but they'll never one's good and one's bad. It's like and they talk about it in chemistry terms, it's like two hands. So you might have one side where the positive side effects are good, but then on the opposite side you have all these horrible side effects. But no matter what way you try and impose them, they're never going to be equal. See, like we put my hands like that, it'll never be equal. But we applied that to everything, music, even the video, even Wolves. If you go to Wolves, you'll see all the chirality in it because it goes from one side of being good and happy to the opposite side.
And why did you add in labs then?
Because it was cool.
That's very good.
And it was legal reasons.
Yeah, just in case.
Just in case someone comes out, oh, that's my name.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you know, I'm into cryptocurrency as well. They all have labs on the end of it. I just thought that was kind of cool.
Okay. So do you think when you look at that, the chirality, and then you try and impose it on a song, is it sometimes?
No, we always have that in mind in the song.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, does the story dictate the song or does the music?
No, it can come from anywhere.
Yeah, like I mean, there was I threw a project at the lads there about 2 weeks ago. I just wrote a ton of lyrics. I just got inspired and I kind of wrote it in verse, chorus, bridge, whatever. And I said, right, there's the lyrics. Sent it over to the lads and said, write me a piece of music that you got inspired by those lyrics. And Al came back with a fucking killer riff that is now part of this new song that we're going to be working on. It's called Dice Man. When that will actually get worked on properly, but
we jammed it out once. It sounded good. I don't know.
But just that concept of, right, we're going to start with lyrics first and see what inspires you, where it's normally the music comes first, and then it's like, right, where are we coming with this? Normally Gary just gives me a word and I'm just like, all right, got it, I'm off.
Okay.
Start writing.
Like a theme.
But what I like about you as well is just that there's unusual structures in each song that don't form the norm, you know.
The normal pop song type thing.
And again, that's what
Yeah.
attracted me when I first heard the first demos that Gary had sent me. There was no structure like verse chorus. It meandered and it never
Yeah.
got boring. And there was
Yes.
so much meat to work with as well, which I loved.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's good because I think, there's so many bands just hitting the same fucking rhythms and following
Boring.
patterns, and it does get boring. But
Be safe.
but other bands then seem to just kind of break out of that, and they're the bands that draw me to, listen to them. Like let's talk about so space in relation to songs, not populating it too much. Are you conscious of that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
I Bring Chaos is very sparse.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's playing, especially at the start, and then heavy bits obviously come in, but you can hear I suppose the choral
Virality. Come on.
Virality.
He's had too much whiskey. No more whiskey for you.
And he's wearing a mask and drinking whiskey. Well done, Al.
String of pallets in itself. But we like to keep that. But if you could probably hear it in someone, even Company of Wolves, the guitar is playing off the bass in some parts where the
Call and response.
call and response
For
kind of-
response, exactly.
So we try to maybe have that in songs. Not all every song.
Well, that's
obviously,
what started that one.
kind of, yeah.
Yeah, myself and Al were bouncing up when we got in the room. Myself and Al wrote a few of those ones like that. It was just me and him bouncing off each other in the room.
Yeah.
This was interesting.
Just interesting, yeah.
As
I was
as a player,
challenging though. Yeah.
yeah.
It took us a while to figure.
Just to get timing and stuff like that. But when it works, it actually works well.
And then we threw Chris in the deep end. And when he took over the guitar, it's like, there you
You can
go.
learn all that.
Good luck with that.
Not about it.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the plans for the rest of the year. You've mentioned already that you're working on the trilogy video. Will we see
Yeah.
that this year? Yeah. Do you think?
I hope
Yeah,
so, yeah.
I
This
say
is
so,
the
yeah.
plan, yeah. To finish out the year at least with that video. Yeah.
Okay.
So I think
And
that'll be the last one.
Yeah.
Well,
we'll say if a record label is sniffing around, are you open to the idea of approaching? Good. No, I have to ask these questions
Depends, I suppose, but yeah, we're going to see if we can do all this as much by
independently.
ourselves.
much
Yeah,
as it-
as
yeah,
much
as
as possible.
yeah.
And
Creative control is so important with a band like you. I can see it.
exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
well, we don't want to sell our souls to them, like, because I mean that's what happens, isn't it? Like, I mean that's what they
Be
do.
holding.
Yeah, they just take everything.
Hmm.
So, and look, I mean, they open doors
Never
as
say
well.
never, but I
Never
mean,
say never. Like,
but-
it depends. Like,
At the moment, it's not in our sphere. At the moment, we're just
Yeah.
doing our way, and that's the way we're
What's
going
his
to
name?
do it
It's
for
fucking
foreseeable future. anyway.
Jimmy Iovine can come in and give us a Trent Reznor
Yeah.
contract. Fucking, we'll take that.
And what
Yeah,
about
we won't say
maybe
no.
somebody looking after your social media promotions?
you want to do it?
He's like a fucking social
No.
media fiend.
Oh,
No
come
is
on.
the answer, but thanks for offering, Gary.
Or to go.
Well, it was worth a try.
Yeah.
You seem really good at it. That's why.
I seem really good. I'm fucking aged considerably because of it. I tell you that now. So I'm actually on the other side. I'm trying to slowly withdraw from it. But again, it's just the creative fucking buzz of everything, isn't it, lads? It's just it's
I
hard
really
to
wanna-
explain to people that aren't involved in the whole side of being creative and trying to fucking get to the next level. And I'm certainly in that phase now of getting to the next level, and
Yeah.
there's a lot of hard work ahead. So hence there's the podcast is only coming out every 2 weeks. So
Wow, there's a few really cool Instagrams I follow, and I've been kind of just paying attention to just the way they do things. It's not really relevant to music, but it makes the Instagram so much more interesting. And I think I actually sent it to you. So I've actually been on this for the last 3 hours. This Instagram, just one account. I was just going through all the videos.
Yeah.
It's brilliant, every
Yeah.
single video. But I'd love to apply a lot of that kind of stuff like to our Instagram and try and make it more immersive and more interesting.
Yeah.
Besides just here's our song, go listen to it, YouTube, like us,
Yeah.
support us.
I think you're the ideal band for something like that, being truthful, just being really clever with it. Again, it's all down to time, isn't it, lads? You know, just to fucking set aside
Concept.
time.
Time and just finding that concept,
Yeah.
one that works.
I have a few ideas. It's just kind of applying them, I guess, and learning
Yeah.
how to do them. We'll figure it out. We'll chat about,
figure it out,
Yeah,
yeah.
we will all figure it out, yeah.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? You know, I gladly promote anything that you set out and share on social. There's that side of it I have no problem doing for you, lads.
Wonderful.
You know?
Cheers. Thanks very much.
Yeah, but we'll send the brown envelopes over too.
Don't
Or
send
a
the brown
bottle-
envelope.
a
You can buy
baby-
me over with
a
fucking
baby with-
pints of Guinness.
Right.
That's all I
Well-
need.
Every Friday.
Every Friday, I wish. So we need to see ye play more live gigs before we're gonna pull a plug on this. Give me
Yeah.
good news. What have you planned for the rest of the year? Is there anything you can announce? I know you're actively working in the background, surely, for 1 or 2 Irish dates.
Yeah, we are. No, there's
Good.
definitely an Irish Day coming, but I think it's kind of more we've been holding off because now there's more of a demand for us. There's a
Okay.
lot of Irish people that would love to come and see us, and we are going to get to it. We have a load of opportunities that actually been handed to us today, and it's just kind of like being very selective about what we're doing. Now, I know that sounds very like
No, it
you know, there's
doesn't.
a lot of,
No,
well,
it
you
makes
know,
sense.
there's a lot of bands out there that like would only grab these things and run with it, and we're being very strategic about what we're taking.
Good.
For instance, like we were offered a placebo support in Romania, would you believe today?
That's fucking outrageous.
And like
Isn't
I
it?
was like it's 14,000 people. I was like, okay, and we're still talking about it, but we don't know. Like, I mean, most people would probably kind of jump at that, and I mean, we're in a position where we can be very selective about what we're going to do. Now, going off with the Hacklers in Germany was just a no-brainer because they're really good friends of ours.
Yeah.
I've known them forever. They're like big brothers to me, and
Yeah.
a fucking great live band.
Great lads.
Yeah.
Great band.
Yeah, we had a great time.
And they have their own little thing going on in Germany, so we were looked after.
We were just in awe as well. They absolutely rocked the place as well. So
They're massive over there. The Germans love them. So yeah, that was a good one. So we had fun with that because we don't know placebo and we don't know the management, but we're talking to our promoters about it and we'll decide. But that's kind of where we're at. There's a few opportunities. We're not jumping at anything. So we're very lucky. Very lucky, I have to say, where we're at.
Okay, that's great news. So you are
it's in
going to have something.
We will play Ireland though.
We definitely
we
want to
will
do that soon. Yeah.
There's a few bands that we're really good friends with over here too, and there's a load of them that we're following like that we think are brilliant as well, and we'd love to hook up with them. And we haven't reached out to them. We were supposed to actually go to the Isle of Man in July and support Swarf Damage, who were supporting Therapy because we couldn't get the Therapy one.
Yes.
So we got talking to Swarf Damage in the Isle of Man, and that might still happen though. We were supposed to do in July, but that's not happening now.
Okay.
Because but anyway, long story short, there's gigs coming.
Okay, that's great news. And let's talk about merch. Is there anything brewing? Get it, Sonic Brew.
Ooh.
We've no shortage of design ideas. Put it that way.
Yes. Okay.
We have our gas mask skull design. Don't even know what we should call that. If anybody has ideas, great.
Okay.
Chiral skull.
Chiral skull.
Chiral skull. Will there be patches? Us metalers love patches on our battle jackets.
I never even thought of that, man. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Yeah.
Life on Richie. We'll take that.
Okay.
Yeah, no, we have some. We had some t-shirts that we sold in Germany. We sent off the last ones to a radio station in America, would you believe, today.
Yeah.
They want to give them out, and we're going to print some red ones for the wolves, you know, because it's the concept. Yeah, so we have red and the skull. So that's next.
Yeah, that'll be up on the site.
Okay.
Yeah, they'll be up on our site and Instagram.
Okay, so I'll put the link on this below.
Yeah, too. Yeah.
So are you working up to an EP or an album release? Or are you just content just releasing singles at the moment?
No, this is all working up to an album.
Yeah.
Fantastic news. Okay, great stuff.
We don't know what's going to be on it though.
Yeah.
That's listen, take your time with it. You know, make sure you get it right, which I have every faith you will do. Is there anything else, lads?
Yeah, we'll get you in to produce it.
No.
Come on. you'll get your hand in there and tell us what's what, because we need your
Cer-
we don't know what we're doing.
Certainly give it to me anyway, and I'll give you honest feedback, and we'll get
Nice.
Pat to review it as well, and
Deadly.
that's as much as I can promise you. So
And a few pints on a Friday night sold.
2 points sold. I won't recognize you without the mask. See, that's the thing.
Yeah, you will. You'll figure it out quick enough.
Who are all these dashing young men surrounding?
So, is there anything else, lads, to the people that are out there listening and watching?
Just check out the new In Company of Wolves out now on YouTube, and you can download it on the website.
Yeah,
Right.
Chirallabs.ie.
Yeah, and get one of those t-shirts because they're fucking deadly and they don't last very long. We had a load of them going to Germany. I don't know what happened to them.
Yeah.
I don't even know what happened to the money. So
We drank that.
Yeah.
You drank it like good lads. Fair play to you.
Like proper rock stars.
if anyone knows what happens to the money in Germany, you can just email me because I don't know where. Just let us know.
Yeah. So listen, everybody, you've been listening to Chiral Labs. You've been listening to Gary, Adam, and Al. They're boldly trespassing musical borders, concocting a potion of punk, metal, rock, and dance with a side of avant-garde. Who makes
Sounds
this
like
up?
It sounds like a Supermax Happy Meal or something like.
Yeah. Look, all I'll say is look at their videos. They're an exciting, experimental new band that's on the scene, and I welcome their difference and they embrace the madness that's out there, and it looks fucking beautiful as well when you get onto their YouTube video page. Please subscribe to them on that. Keep an eye out for them because they will be playing soon in Ireland before 2024 is over, and best of luck, lads, with everything you do. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for seeing man.
Thank you.
Yeah. And crucially, support your local metal scene.
Cheers. Sláinte.
Cheers, boys.
Okay, nice one. Thank you.